Greetings, Kooplings, and welcome back to the Nintendo Shack. Hello, my name's Donnie Reese, and tonight, this July 3rd night, we record episode 88 of the Nintendo Shack podcast, the weekly Nintendo dose on the PSVG podcast network. Join me as she does every week, the Jessica Jones to my Tony Stark is Miss Caroline. What's good?
Don't they ever have? They don't have anything in common. They don't have any interaction.
I don't think so. I don't know. I never watched Jessica Jones, to be quite honest with you.
I feel quite like her.
That wasn't on the Make Dev Switch list, so I didn't watch it.
May have to watch it. I do like Kristen. What's her name? I didn't realize that she was it. I didn't realize that was even a Marvel show. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Might have to do it. If you guys haven't heard DLC, listen to DLC.
Yeah, I want to take a minute to talk about DLC and just talk about. So look, every week I do the little patron spill, and Kevin does it, and Kyle does it. We all do it because we want you guys to do it, obviously. But we don't do it just to like plug it, and you probably skip through it, which is fine. We have no issues with that. But I just wanted to let you know that we dropped DLC this past week. We dropped Arcadia Academia. We dropped Kevin Hates Everything. Like, it was back to back. We're almost on 20 episodes of patron exclusive content on the patron thing, on the patron, RSS feed. And that's on top of the patron giveaway that Trash Turkey won this week. So he's going to take a gift card. And I mean, it's just like, I feel like, if I may, and I don't want to like pat myself on the back here or anything like that, but I really feel like we do a lot for $1. Oh, for sure. There's a lot of Patreons out there and a lot of things that you can support, and I'm by no means telling you to not do that, but for $1, I don't think anybody does anything half of what we do for just $1. And it all goes to, to help us to keep things going and keep things afloat. But to be quite honest with you, I really, really enjoy interacting with the patrons. We have an exclusive Discord channel and all that fun stuff, and it's just a lot of fun. So, if you guys have never thought about it, patreon.com/PSVG. So when I was thinking about saying this before we started the show, because I was thinking about this morning, I wanted to say something like this. What I wanted to kind of present to anybody out there is, if you've never supported a Patreon, if you've never kind of like gotten behind the scenes or become like an insider or checked it out, if you were never into it, or if you just didn't do ours, give it a try for like a month. That's what I wanted to say. Like, if you've never done it, it's a lot of fun. Give it a try. Like, we do thank you cards, we did E3 cards, we do gift cards, we have stickers, we do all kinds of like fun little things for us, and I mean, it's just $1. So anyway, Caroline, as you can see, I am reporting to you live from the Emergency Operations Center in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. Because
I'm off for 4 days.
Lucky you. Because today is July 3rd, which means tomorrow is Independence Day, which means tomorrow morning at 4 a.m., our EOC activates and opens up for the Peachtree Road Race. People
are insane. It's so stupid. So stupid.
So I live about 40 minutes away. So to be here at 4 to open, which means I have to be up by like 2:30 or 3 to get dressed and get ready and drive in, it's a lot easier for me to just stay here. So I have the place to myself tonight, and I brought my recording equipment with me so we could knock this out. So we could.
Are you sure you're by yourself? You don't have any unexpected guests showing up?
Yeah. No, just the janitors and me, security teams. Okay. It's a little creepy. Really, a lot of people don't like being here like late at night by themselves.
I don't blame them.
I've stayed here
been around where you are. It's not exactly kosher.
I have to take the runner database from the track club and import it into our system, and there's like 70,000 runners, so it takes a long time. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, there have been people on my neighborhood watch thing asking for bid numbers, and I'm like, why? Why are you throwing away your 4th of July to run?
Oh, you can run this thing and be home by lunch. Easy. Yeah.
Why would you wake up? You're going to be up late at night watching fireworks anyway. It's going to rain. It's going to rain.
Well, I'm much more concerned the fact that it's going to be close to 100 degrees heat index.
It's going to rain. It's going to cool off.
Yeah, but that's after everybody's ran. I'm expecting 50%
chance.
I'm expecting to have a lot of medical calls. Anyway, nobody cares. That's not why they come here to Nintendo Shack. Let's get into what we do every week. We talk about what we've been playing. Who do you want to go first? You want to go? You want me to go?
No, we don't. We talk about the haiku first.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you for the reminder.
We got off our Patreon thing. So, Benji, you haven't had your special haiku yet. So my haiku is for my babe Benji. He collects figures and pins and is basically Caro's bestest bud. He really is. When he collects a figurine or when he collects a pin, I kind of get jealous and I go down with him and we just spend all of our money on material goods, and it's okay.
Very cool.
Because somebody else is doing it with me.
Very cool. Well, I'm happy that Benji supported us, and I hope he enjoyed his first DLC. He's got to catch up on all the ones that came before, and then we've got July. We're in July now.
Yep.
So I'm going to go on vacation here in a couple weeks, and then we're going to do DLC, and I'm looking forward to it because we are going to talk about... I'm going to stop you right there. Caroline, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
It doesn't matter to me. You never go first.
Okay, I'll go first. So, excuse me. Dr. Pepper's a bad choice to do while you're podcasting.
I can't drink sugar anymore.
I wanted to say that I wanted to say this last week, actually. Jack has completed the Terrytown quest in Breath of the Wild.
Good job. Good job.
He's pulled the Master Sword in Breath of the Wild. He's just beaten 3 Divine Beasts in Breath of the Wild. He's collected like 8 armor sets in Breath of the Wild. The kid is almost done. He is crushing this game, and he's only 8 years old. And while I definitely think that as a parent you should be way more proud of your kids for graduating high school and doing other things, I am really, really proud of Jack and almost like impressed.
Yeah.
I sit back and I'm like,
I wouldn't be able to do that at 8. I was struggling through Ocarina.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I was like, wow, this is pretty incredible stuff. And he's doing it through the power of YouTube, which I thought was another, like, I wonder what I would have done with YouTube at his age. Because he'll want to know something, and he just hits his Roku and YouTubes it and finds a video and watches it and then goes back to the game and does it. He learned how to take down Lionels. He's become a little Lionel hunter. That's his little thing now. He wants to go take down all the Lionels.
They scare me.
He spent like 4 hours doing everything he needed to do to upgrade his rune. Because he was like, did you know you could free? I was like, yeah, I did. Because I've been kind of coaching him through it, but to be quite honest with you, I'm somewhat hands-off. I'm kind of like, you should go over there and look around. Maybe you'll find it. And his progression kind of has me wanting to play the game again.
You just played it again.
I know. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm actually not even thinking. This is what I'm going to do. When I go on vacation, instead of trying to crush through a new game or something while I'm going on vacation, I think I'm going to clean up the rest of my to-do list. I think I'm going to do all the shrines. I'm going to finish everything that I wanted to do that I didn't do on the playthrough number 2. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go clean everything up. So I'm looking forward to that. But this past week, last Friday, Mario Maker came out. And I played it all day on Saturday and a little bit on Sunday. But obviously, as you see, I'm here at work. I have not been able to play a whole lot during the week. But I have played a lot of Mario Maker and can say things and answer questions, I think. I'd just like to start with saying that the game is really, really good. It's really great. Like, the reviews are to be trusted and believed. It's really, really good for a lot of different reasons. First and foremost, you want to talk story mode first?
Sure.
Story mode.
That's the only reason that I would probably get it right now.
I would go as far as saying that I think it's worth getting it for that reason alone. And I think that says a lot for a lot of people. It's 100 courses. I don't know how many. That was actually one thing I wanted to do now that I'm thinking about it. I wanted to look up how many courses were in, like, Mario Bros. U. I don't know how many courses were in that compared to Mario Maker, but 100 of them. Yeah. And here's the thing, though. If you played Mario Maker 1, it had courses that you could play from Nintendo, but they were super bite-sized. They really weren't courses. They were, like, literally like a frame of a course. It was very, very small. It was like, here's how you do this one thing. And you did it, and that was the end. You went to the next one. They were super bite-sized. You could go through like 10 of them in like 5 minutes. These aren't. These are full-fledged Mario levels. There's castles, there's secret doors, there's locked doors. But unlike other Mario games, like I'm going to keep using Mario Bros. U because that's the recent most 2D one. Unlike that one, which has different little mechanics, different stuff, and different art styles, of course, it's like the winter levels and the forest levels and all that. The levels that have been created in Mario Maker Story Mode are very clever, and they're different, and they're witty in a way that I don't think any Mario campaign ever has been. There, you go through levels where it's like a shooter. It's a side-scroller. You hop into the Bowser cart, and you've got to blow up blocks and blow up all these things to fly through the level. And then there's this one level that's really, really great where you can't jump. And not only can you not jump, you can't leave the ground. So if you fall off a ledge, or anything, like, you're done. You cannot go airborne. So
it almost sounds like what they did with Spirits in Smash then. Just like different parameters.
Yes.
To make them funny. Mm-hmm. And interesting.
There's a lot of that stuff. They've got like, there's like ones with like claws. There's one where you everything's upside down. You've got like the space levels where gravity's all messed up and you gotta jump up in the air and stuff like that. And they're just, I don't know, they all just really work. They're really different because, so they change up the different stuff that you do like that, the mechanics. They change up the stuff you're doing. They change up the clear conditions. Then you add in the fact that the art style is constantly changing. Every 1 or 2 levels is a new art style, new thing. And it never seems to get old. It always seems to be fun, and it always seems to, as I've been playing it, I'm 50% through the campaign, I think 52% to be exact, as I keep playing it. I'm just like, this is fantastic.
It's quite a lot.
It's really, really great. Like, that's the only thing I can keep saying. It's just how good it is. So every time you open a course to play it, it has like a description, just like the event courses used to in Mario Maker 1. But all of the descriptions like play into the story this time. So it actually is kind of like a campaign. You know, you've got to do something for the Toad. So it's like, you know, we need blocks to finish building this thing, but I forgot to order the other blocks. So please, you know, so then the clear condition is to get Toad to the end of the course so you can do blocks and things like that. So it all kind of builds on itself, and it actually feels really, really good. I'm very much enjoying it. It's a lot of fun in that regard. The most important thing that I can say about the story mode, and actually probably the thing that has me most excited about this campaign overall, coins matter. Because you have to collect them to upgrade things. Yeah. So you get coins for clearing the courses, but then you also get to keep the coins that you collect on the way through. And it's not an insignificant amount. And you can get 50, 100 coins in a level if you try hard, especially if you're finding all the coin bonuses. Yeah. And then you get to bring those back. That helps you level up the castle faster, helps you unlock new stuff faster.
All right. I should probably get it this weekend.
So, like, for the first time in a long time, I am literally playing through every level trying to get all the coins. Like, that's my focus. I'm like, I want to get all the coins because it's got, like, this city builder type thing to it that I'm...
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I'm digging.
Yeah, so it's like every time I get back, I'm like, oh, I need 1,200 coins to start the next expansion.
Yep.
All right, and you can replay stuff if you can go back, keep farming. Yeah. So that is something. They made coins great again, Caroline. Made coins great again. That's what they did. And
you're gonna get shot.
I can't I can't imagine how long it's been since I've cared about coins in a Mario game.
Okay.
You know? For like ever,
I cared about them during Mario Golf World Tour.
Yeah, of course.
You needed them. You needed them to, get.
Did you do your round, by the way?
Clubs. I haven't done it.
I don't think anybody's done it except for me. If the Shack listeners, if you're listening,
all right, I'm gonna plug mine in when I'm done.
The Backlog Busters podcast for those of you that listen to Grouchy Surge and Jeremy Trash Turkey, they picked Mario Golf as Turkey's game of the month this month, and he's never played it before. And obviously, you guys know Shack kids, we love the Mario Golf. So I started a course for them. So if you find me on Twitter playing Nintendo, we've got a course code for that. It's in the Discord. And I played one round. I did it yesterday morning, and I shot 16 under. So that's my one round. I didn't do it more than once. I didn't do it twice, and I didn't restart. I went in, I played, and I shot the score. Go beat it. Come at me, bro.
I'm gonna do 18 under.
So it's fun. I definitely could have too. That's the one thing I thought about. I had 2 eagle putts.
Which course is it? Is it the main course? The first one?
No.
Beach?
Yeah, it's the beach course. That's it. It's not hard. I had 2 eagle putts that I missed. I was like, not good at 18.
I know which ones I can get eagle on.
But, so it is 18 holes. So I like that because when you do 9 holes, it's real easy to just restart. You don't do it right, so you restart because it doesn't take that long. A little harder when you have 18 because it's like, man, if you're on hole 16, that's another 20 minutes you've got to do. So that's good. It's good. On the creative side, first, do you have any Mario Maker questions or anything?
No. Brian says he wants to make the courses to make me rage on stream, like me play his courses.
That's a good idea, actually.
So he said, I just want you to get the game for that. I'm like, God dang. So I might swing by Best Buy on Friday.
Cool.
And pick it up.
Very good. The creator side is interesting because I jumped into it having played a lot of Mario Maker 1. I was like, I'm going to bypass this dojo thing. I don't need to learn how to do this. Yeah, you do, especially if you play Mario Maker 1, because I'm not going to lie to you. So I tried to build a course, and I tried to do the slopes, and I had a hard time making my slopes connect to each other. And I was like, all right, I'm going to stop messing around with the slopes. So I started building just like a basic level. I tried to put a block out there, and I wanted to put like a mushroom in the block. So I went to the top and I grabbed the mushroom, and then I clicked on the block, but then the block just had wings, and I was like, what the hell's going on? I don't know what I'm doing. So then I had to like click the mushroom into the level and then drag the mushroom into the box to do it. And I was like, so that must be how you do it. And this is dumb. And I kept trying to figure it out, playing with the controller, of course. I kept trying to figure it out, and it's just like there's so many menus. There's so many things to do that I get like almost concerned or scared of, like, I don't even know where to begin or where to end or what I'm doing, if I'm doing it right, if I'm doing it wrong. And so I did some of the dojo stuff. Turns out the whole time you could just put the block on the thing and then click on the block, and it gives you options that you can put stuff in the block. I was like, I'm dumb. So it's like things like that. They're very small, like little UI elements, things that they have built into it to make it easier for you. But if you don't know, like especially if you play Mario Maker 1, you're used to that.
Right.
If you don't know, you won't know, and it makes it harder. Also, like, it's just, when I first started with the controller, like the very first time I started with the controller, I was like, it's not going to be so bad. I was like, this is not so bad. I don't understand what everybody... And then when I started trying to do things like fill in the map, or, like I said, the slopes, or started trying to like make things move on a timer and add, I was like, oh, this is awful. It's like, it gets really, really difficult. So then I pulled out my stylus, which I have a capacitive stylus, and I was like, I'm just going to try this out, just to talk about on the podcast. The stylus is must have stuff. I got to tell you, as somebody who's always... I already bought it. Somebody who's always hated capacitive styluses. I've tried using them in my Chromebooks. I've tried using them on my tablets. It's never good. It's never accurate. It's a world of difference on Mario Maker. It feels fantastic. It's absolutely the best way to make things. And once you start making things on the screen, even though it's a little small, then all of my like worries about making things go away. Yeah.
I bought the Digiroot one that you linked in that thing, so I think we should maybe link that to people that are interested. It was like $10.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. That's a great one, especially with the plastic slider on it. It makes it like really precise and a fine tip.
You get like 6 of those, and then you get 4 mesh ones that are supposed to simulate like a finger.
Yep.
It's really good.
It's going to be way better than the cheap one that Nintendo gave out in pre-order bonuses. Those things are selling on eBay for like $50. People are paying for those things, and they're bad.
I wonder what the lunchbox is going for.
Like, they're bad. It's not a good stylus, so don't fall for it, guys.
It's a novelty, though.
So here's the thing that I am going to say about creativity, though, and I think this is probably, everybody probably knew this beforehand, but I think it's compounded with Mario Maker 2. Now that I've done most of the dojo and I've tried figuring it out and I got an idea of it, I don't think I'm going to build anything. It's just, there's a lot.
That's what Brian loves, the building. That's his favorite thing to do. We love both watching people rage over courses together. I suck at playing them. So for me, it's not, I would only really play it for story mode because I suck at generic side-scrolling Mario. I'm just not good at it.
I just think that there's so much to it. There's so many things you have to remember in terms of the combos and what can be combined and how they can be combined, and then the tokens and then the animations. There's so much to it that it to be quite honest with you, it feels daunting, and it's one of those things where I've said this before in other podcasts, like, I don't want to try that hard.
Yeah.
It's just a lazy thing with me. I'm like, oh God, no, I don't want to do this. This is not fun. I'm not having fun anymore. Like, I don't want, I don't want to say bad things about VR, so don't take it super negative, but it is. So, like, my issue with VR is that there's, like, some setup involved. I got to get my shoes on. I got to move the chair. I got to get the helmet. I got to put the helmet on. I got to sync the controllers. I got to turn it on. There's all these things you got to do to get started. It's like that times I got to get the stylus out. I got to pull out the switch. Mm-hmm. If I want to play on TV, I got to put it back. I'm like, I don't want to do any of this. So I'm probably never going to do it, to be quite honest with you. And having watched Jack try to do it, I don't think he's going to do it either. It's like, I'm trying to give like a comparison. With Mario Maker 1, because you were always holding the gamepad anyway, because the gamepad, you just touched it with the stylus was built into it.
Yeah.
Because all of your options were just right there on the bar. It was just easy. It was simple. It was fast. It was simple, and it was intuitive, and it was quick. And I definitely don't feel like Mario Maker 2 is intuitive. But I do think Mario Maker 2 is like super hardcore, complex. The level builders that want to build and show the world amazing Mario level, they've got everything they could ever want. Sure. And they're going to dive in there.
They're having a heyday.
Yes.
I've already seen amazing courses on YouTube.
They're really good.
It's unbelievable.
So that was the next thing I was going to talk about was Course World. So Course World is quite honestly quite fantastic. Really, it really is. I started playing. I obviously started on the easy mode because I was like, I don't, if you've ever played Mario Maker,
I'm the same way.
yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna start with the easy courses. So I clicked on the easy tab and I just started playing. I played the random Mario generator, the one that just goes and finds your courses, and I just started playing through them all. And I beat that first map. You go through about 20 levels. I got to tell you, 10 out of those 20 levels were really good. Like 8 out of those 10 were great, and only like 4 of them were like lame. And I was like, that's a really good ratio, like compared to what we used to be.
But now you got to understand that's just the first weekend.
I know. It's just going to get better. So I then jumped up to normal, and I started playing those. I was
thinking the opposite. I think it's just going to get worse. There's going to get more troll levels, dude.
No, I jumped up to normal, and to be honest with you, I kind of had the exact same experience. Like, normal gets a little... So, like, on normal, you start running into courses where every jump has to be precise. And if you miss it, you there's no, like, room to land on a platform. The platform is a block. So there's things like that. But some of the stuff people come up with are really, really good. And I played this one level where I was jumping, and oh god, I'm gonna try to remember. So it was like they had the swinging arms, the claws.
Yeah.
Right. So you're at the bottom, you can't do anything, but the claws are at the top. So you've got to like go and sit yourself in a place where the claw, because if you step under the claw will pick up or let go of something. So the claw would pick up a Goomba, and you run over to the other side, and that's where he'd drop the Goomba off. The Goomba would activate the switch, which would drop the key. You get the key, open the door, you go to the next world. And it's like, it was kind of like the exact same thing in the next world, except it might get a little bit more complex. Like maybe now here's the Boo cart, and you've got to get the Goomba off the claw into the cart, and he'd fly it over, drop the key, do the thing. So I was doing all these levels, going through all these doors, and I was like, man, this is really cool. It's like a puzzle. So I see the goal, and I'm running towards the goal, and I'm like, there it is. I'm just going to run and jump on. And out of nowhere, the cat Bowser starts crawling up my screen. I was like, whoa, like what happened? And I had to jump back the other way. It's just things like that. Normal, I didn't find hard. There were courses that I died on for sure, but I beat them. I went through the map and I got through. And I think, to drop Kevin's name, which I'm getting tired of doing, but if you hated all of the auto scroll and the music levels and things like that, they're now appropriately tagged. There's an auto scroll tag. There's a music tag. You don't have to play those levels. Skip them. Like, they're tagged. You don't, you're not just going to encounter them, and they're not like just shoved in your face all the time. You can hide them.
That's good.
I love those levels. I'm not going to lie to you. I know everybody.
I think the amount of ingenious that goes into making them is super respectable.
That's the cool thing about the creative tools, because when you start seeing how hard it is to make that stuff, it makes you appreciate when you see a good one anyway.
I feel like those people were the original pioneers of good stuff in Mario Paint. Mario Paint was like the predecessor to this kind of stuff that they keep doing. So either that or there was some ROM hack that people were doing stuff with Super Mario World before Mario Maker was even a thing. And one of my favorite ones is Don't Stop Me Now by Queen, and they did like all 4 parts, and it's so good. It's just unbelievable. It's like, how much time did you waste? It's great. I think it's great.
My kids love it because what they do is they'll watch it and they try to make their own, and they never have. Like, they've never gotten close. They get it to like, they put the little Connect set together and they get like a note or two. And then they eventually all fall back to the same thing. They're like, God, it's really hard. I'm like, right? Yeah. So the next time you think it's super easy that you just run through the auto scroll, like sit back and think, instead of thinking this is boring and I want to do this, sit back and think, how did they do this? Like, look at the ingenuity here. Because we did this one, man. It was throwing me all over the thing, and I was flying and floating, and I was timers, and I landed on the thing, and I had to wait, and then I fell, and then it picked me up and took me to the other side. That's crazy stuff. It's really hard. I'm not doing that. I didn't even want to make a basic level. I was like, ugh.
It's for engineers. I know my
really
brother-in-law would absolutely love it because he's an engineer.
And then with all the new options with the slopes and then the timers and all the things. Now, to say something, I guess, more critical about it, because I don't sit here and just say, the game's great, it's great, it's great, it's great, it's great. It doesn't feel as... One of the things that I felt like I was missing on Saturday after I was playing for a few hours, I was like, Mario Maker 1, maybe it's the amiibo costumes. It felt different. Like it wasn't a Mario game. Like, it was like it had Mario, but it wasn't a Mario game.
A hybrid. Mm-hmm.
This one doesn't have that feeling. And it's not just the amiibo costumes. It's like all of the things that like the amiibo costumes would help you do. This one doesn't feel as like as zany or as out there or as like wacky. as the first Mario. Yeah, like the effects, there's still effects, but they all seem to like kind of fit. Like Mario Maker felt like weird, like you're like, why is this here?
Yeah.
Why is this happening in this game? And
dark horse on the Wii U. The Wii U was a dark horse. This
one feels, I don't want to call it like corporate or just like maybe sanitized. Feels like a Mario game. Like there's still some stuff in there that you can do and change up the music and whatnot, but it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. It feels a little different. So it feels like a Mario game. It feels like, they can get behind this one a bit more than like maybe the other one. So the other one just felt, this one feels safe. The other one didn't feel as safe. It felt new. It was like, this is, we would never get anything. Yeah. This one has no edge. This one has no edge at all. The only other thing that I have to say is, I bought that Satisfy grip a few weeks ago before E3 and I showed it to you.
Yeah.
Mario Maker has 100% proven to me that I never want to play without my Satisfy grip again. I've gotten so used to it that I tried to play Mario Maker the other night while I was watching TV without the grip. Literally stopped, paused the TV, went downstairs to get my grip to come back. I'm like, this sucks.
Okay.
Like, it's completely changed the way that how I feel or want to feel holding the Switch. And I haven't really talked about the Satisfy grip on the podcast since I bought it. So anybody out there, like, there was a sale during E3 where you get them like half off.
$20.
It's fantastic. It's super. That's exactly what it should be. And if you haven't thought about it, go look it up, Satisfy grip, and get one of those. But that's it for me on what we've been playing. What about you? Oh, I talked about that. I talked about that.
What?
Talk about Breath of the Wild. I want to get back into it with Jack.
Okay. I thought you meant Hyrule Warriors. I have been playing Graveyard Keeper, but I haven't had much time to play Graveyard Keeper because real life keeps getting in the way. So, there was a shooting right next door to my house.
Kitty! Nobody wants to hear about the shooting. Nobody cares.
Yeah, I was walled in by police tape for about 5 or 6 hours on Saturday. It was pretty terrifying. We got ADT to come in yesterday and up the specifics on yesterday or day before to up the security. And somebody just got shot and ran. So whoever it was is still at large apparently.
Wow.
Fun stuff. Blood trail's still out on the pavement, so I'm hoping it really does rain because I don't like seeing that outside my house.
Get out there with a mop.
It's on the asphalt. It's baked into the concrete right now. It's crazy.
You couldn't have said that to somebody. Like, I get all the texts from 911 every day. I'm like, yeah, that happens. Like, it's a very common occurrence.
A gated community.
Sure, happens all the time. Really does. It really does.
It's just not something you want to see
of course.
Or hear about. Just having bought the house 4 months ago. Sunday morning, we wake up at 8 o'clock or something, and the power goes out. And I get on the neighborhood app, and I'm like, when is this? What? What is this? And you're really good at that, by the way.
That's Friday the 13th.
Oh, no. 8 in the morning? Are you kidding me? So, 8 in the morning on a Sunday. It's just really hot and the fan, is off and I'm like, I'm burning up. So I'm checking. I'm like, when is the power going to be back on? We have this neighborhood watch at and I'm looking to see how many people in the outage area. And I'm on there and some of the postings are about lost dog, lost cat, found cat. This woman has a kitten that she's like, yeah, this kitten was just outside my neighborhood on the street. And I'm like... I said, Brian was half asleep. And I said, so I know you want to go back to sleep after the fan came back on. I said, I know you want to go back to sleep because you didn't sleep well. But when you wake up, we need to go get the kitten. And he said, okay. And I said, did you comprehend what I said? And he said, yeah, I heard you.
That's a tired man.
We had been talking about getting another kitten before we went on vacation, and it just happened.
Whatever you want, Caroline, please shut up so I can go back to sleep.
He's 4 weeks old. He's all black.
He's flipper kitten.
He had fleas. He had worms. I took him to the vet because he was like, he has a cold too, and he's just so pitiful. He's feeling better today. He was chasing his own tail earlier. And I'm just around the clock feeding the kitten, keeping the kitten warm, using a humidifier. It's like a baby. It really is like a baby.
But sure.
It's like
It's
a
really
baby.
not.
I have to feed it multiple times a day.
No.
I've got the humidifier running.
I have to stand up for all parents everywhere. It's not. But
so,
sure.
He wasn't peeing or pooping in the litter box because he's too young. He didn't know what a litter box was. He didn't know about covering his own poop. His mom had been, stimulating him to go to the bathroom like a normal mom cat does. And I had to stick him in there and move my fingers around in the litter. And he watched me. And he's like, oh. And then he did it. And I was like, I feel so proud. I taught a cat something. It's literally the youngest cat that I've ever had in my life. And I don't know. I'm enamored with him. I hope he makes it. He's too young to get vaccinations and tests for leukemia and AIDS and stuff. And that's the biggest hump that you have to get through is the 8 to 12 week mark. So I hope that my attachment, because I'm really attached already. He's my baby.
What's baby kitten's name?
Plague.
How do older kittens feel about baby kitten?
They're pissed. Pippa and Ella are pissed.
Yeah.
They just do not like a new baby coming in on their domain. Luckily, when we introduced Ella to Pippa, we were only in a 1-bedroom apartment, so Pippa didn't have anywhere to hide. In this big house, she's got places to go and get away, and we closed the doors so he's not getting them infected or anything like that. And he's just
that's making it worse because now it feels special treatment. They know he's there and they can't,
What? No, I open the door and let them see when I'm doing it. So they just getting mommy's attention. It's not good. Eating food. Mommy's hand feeding the baby. This is not good. Eventually they'll get over it. I think so. I hope so.
Well, that's really awesome that you guys have that. Yeah. There is a wing place on my way home. Every time I go there, there is a closed up, a backed up sewer that a mom and her kitten live in.
Donnie?
And they've been there for months. I see them all the time, and she goes in there and she brings them food out of the trash, and then they all come out there and they all come out and they'll play in the grass, and then they'll all just go run back in under the sewer.
No, you have got to get them. You've got to tell somebody about that so they get spayed and neutered and at least re-released into the colony. And
okay. Sure.
No, I'm serious. That breaks my heart more than anything. I feel bad because I know that this kitten was out and about and his mother was probably moving the litter. And he was there and the woman found him and the mom hadn't come back for him. And he's probably like, where's my mommy? But then my dad just told me, he's like, you're giving him a better life than out on the street where he's got to worry about hunting for food.
Sure.
He's got to worry about finding a place to stay out of the rain, warm and stuff. I feel bad about, taking him away from a mommy, but at the same time, I don't think another week on the street he would have made it in his condition. He was really pitiful. So that's my life. I haven't been doing any video games hardly at all. I've been doing Graveyard Keeper every so often, which is very bizarre, by the way.
Tin Cats.
You run the graveyard because you're trying to get back to your love, which is in the real world. You've got to do magic to get back to the real world. But they're like, yeah, you're a good graveyard keeper. We'll give you the church. You can be a prior at the church. So it's just you lead the sermons, right? And then you continue on in the same story arc. And there's a guy in the cellar that you give him a key, and he's like, cool, I know exactly where we need to go. And you go there, and there's a satanic pentagram in the middle of the underground of the church. And I'm like, what kind of church is this? This is literally you're walking into the gates of hell. So the dungeon area is literally satanic pentagram stuff, and you are the prior of the church. It makes zero sense. It's not
you should do more research into churches.
No, okay. We're not talking about that because I grew up in a Christian school, and I know, believe me.
I can point you to some Catholic pages and things like that. We can get this rectified for you. It makes a lot of sense to me.
I love exorcism. You and I don't do horror movies, but I love exorcism films. Real life, kind of based off of the right. Oh my gosh, so good. So I'm just playing this, and Benji made a joke. He's like, you're literally opening the gates to hell. And I'm like, oh my God. Because you start out as a person and you get hit in a car crash on your way to a date. And you're supposedly dead, but I'm like, you're supposed to toil your way back to the real world. And I'm like, this is purgatory. And maybe, like, you can make choices going the right way or, like, the wrong way towards the Inquisitor and, like, killing witches and burning them. And I'm like, maybe your decisions and, like, the way that you do things determines whether you go to heaven or hell. That's what I think is going to happen. It's really interesting. It's crafter's dream. There's so much stuff. There's so many skill trees. It's just incredible.
Oof. Man, I was watching all of the, the Bloodstained reviews and all that. I was looking through all the menus and all. I was like, oh, I don't want to do any of that anymore. I just want to play the game.
Menus used to scare me before Xenoblade 2, and then I got used to it.
Yeah, you got to in that game. I didn't like that about that game either. Okay, let's get into our news block of the week. We got quite a bit here.
We didn't have quite a bit, and then I did research.
Yes, you did. I'm going to hand over this to some of you. But last week, right when we got off the air, Masuda from Game Freak did release a statement about all of this fan outcry. So the naysayers were loud enough that they at least addressed it.
Bring back Rex.
I thought it was hilarious because he basically didn't say anything. He was just like, yeah, we're not going to do it. Like, I'm sorry you guys are upset, but we're going to keep doing what we're going to do. So, yeah, hats off to you, Masuda.
It's going to sell gangbusters regardless.
That's true. Yeah, that's the thing that's being lost here is I think somebody I was watching, there was a really good tweet. I think it was Matt Piscatella who does like all of the MPD analysis and everything. Somebody had tweeted him. They're like, hey, is this National Dex thing going to affect Pokemon Sword and Shield sale? And he just responded with a big ha 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 laughs.
It's true.
He's like,
it's absolutely true. Can you take the next one? We'll go back and forth.
Yeah. No. I'll take the next one.
Okay.
Because I don't know anything about the next one after here. So Super Mario Maker 2 sold almost 200,000 units in its launch week in Japan alone, outpacing the Wii U version. Which is not like surprising. That's not why we put it here, because the Switch has sold more. But if you were out there thinking that like people weren't into Mario Maker, like it's selling well and people are buying.
Oh yeah,
and
everybody's like, why don't you have it? Like, you want to talk about my $200 vet bill this weekend? Because that's why I don't have it.
I saw it charting on the UK weekly releases, and I'm sure at the end of the month when we see American everybody, it's going to be up there. If not, probably Switch bestseller. So. Caroline, tell me about this next one. I don't know anything about.
Tencent, the Chinese big conglomerate game company that does all those apps and stuff. They have formed a new Nintendo cooperation department, quote unquote. In April, they were given approval by the Department of Culture and Tourism in the Guangdong province to start selling new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe Bundle in China.
That's big.
Yeah. That was a big deal. So that saw Nintendo's shares surge up more than 13%, which is the highest they've been since October 2018.
That makes sense.
And just this past Monday, on July 1st, they posted 2 positions on its website looking to recruit personnel for the Nintendo Cooperation Department.
Ooh, that's a good job. So Tencent funds Bungie, right? They're the ones that, like when they super uber mega billionaire people.
They're huge. Yeah. I think they bought Riot and everything.
And with the market being so big in China and its relative, proximity to that region and its fascination and affinity for video games, you have to think even if the Switch sells minor amounts compared to the population, it's still significant amounts compared to other territories. That's big. That's big for them. Yep. Good for them. Nintendo did discuss Nintendo Switch Online. So they had a shareholders meeting last Friday, and they were asked about what their plan is for legacy content. Specifically, like back and Pat, what are we doing here? And their future plans for Nintendo Switch Online. And President Furukawa responded, quote, "While I can't give any new information about further classic hardware, we are thinking about expanding the NES software lineup on the online service and other ways of providing them. We understand your desire to play past products," end quote.
The fact that the Super Nintendo stuff has not come out yet is a travesty.
It kind of is, but they're just stringing us along because they know they can. The moment they pop this little announcement, everybody's going to get excited, just like they did, just like we all play Tecmo Bowl for a weekend. Like they'll do it, and Jared during E3 and all that, he's spot on. They're going to wait for the 1 year when everybody's expiration comes up, right? So right here this fall.
You think they're going to do it in September?
Yeah. I mean, he's spot on. That makes when it comes to marketing sense, it makes all the sense in the world. They got you for your first year. There's no point in doing it now because they're not going to make any more money. So you wait until people start to lapse. So people start to wonder, like, maybe it's not worth it. And then you hit them with some Super Nintendo, some N64 stuff, and they all re-sign up again.
I think the anniversary of the Super Nintendo is in September as well.
Oh, wow.
Like September 15th through 16th. So that's the time.
I mean, it's probably hopeful and optimistic on my part, but I'm hoping for a lot more than some Super Nintendo games.
For sure.
Because, I won't be like, I will still play Super. I will
Instead of 3 more Nintendo ones, you get 10!
I will always play Super Mario World. Don't get me wrong. I'll be excited for Super Nintendo games, but, like, I'm not going to jump on Shack and be like, finally, we have Super Nintendo. Like, I want to see a little bit more. Like, let's really lean into this a bit. Because I want to see, like, pricing. Does it change? Because, like, Virtual Console is the perfect service. Like, that's the perfect service for Nintendo. They should that should be their Game Pass. You know, like, their Game Pass shouldn't be Mario Maker and Smash Bros. Ultimate. Their Game Pass should be, here is a collection of NES, SNES, N64, GameCube games that you can only play if you subscribe to us annually. That's the perfect way to do that. So, okay.
Cha-ching. I want the next 2.
Take it.
Cuphead DLC teaser trailer dropped today. The Delicious Last Course is being postponed to 2020, but we know that it is coming to Switch, probably day and date with everybody else, and that means that the physical will be coming in 2020, meaning I have to wait that long because I'm not picking it up until I get everything. DLC will all be included on the physical copy. Secondly, Harvest Moon, Friends of Mineral Town, or Bokujo Monogatari, Friends of Mineral Town, whatever they call it, is getting...
What did you just say?
I spoke Japanese and you can deal with it. Is getting a remake for the Switch. Hits Japan October 11th. More details are coming in Famitsu this Thursday, July 4th, which if it hit on midnight in Japan already, it's out and I just haven't looked and I'm going to have to probably look after this. A preview of the article, though, indicates that the game is 85% complete already. It showed possibly new bachelors and bachelorettes in addition to the ones that were there in the original. And it's combining Friends of Mineral Town and more Friends of Mineral Town, which were separate games that allows you to either play as the guy or the girl. You get to pick at the beginning of the game. I'm just going to say that this is probably the best handheld Harvest Moon that they ever made. Ever.
When I saw that this started to come out on Twitter, and people, that was the fervor I was seeing. This is the best one.
It is the most polished version of the Super Nintendo N64 formula, and like all of those Game Boy ones. It's the most polished, perfect version, and I don't think that they could ever top that. And so they just kind of found a way to rewrite the book for all of the rest of them, and they changed things. They evolved the series, but that is probably the pinnacle, the best one that they've ever done. And so the fact that that's getting a remake, I'm sold. Like, if that's getting a limited edition, I'm going to import it. It doesn't matter. October 11th in Japan, meaning we're probably going to get a localization by Xseed in 2020. It's going to have a new name because it's a Bokemono game, but it's going to be Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, or something like that.
Story of Seasons, caverns full of minerals and town making.
No.
They always have the weirdest names.
The town's just called Mineral Town. I mean, there was
just
a big,
call it Life
huge
Story.
mine.
That's what they should call it. Life Story. Life Story 1.
It's
Life Story 2.
Literally, Bokujo Monogatari means farm story.
Okay. So then
Good job. You know some Japanese. Congrats.
Fun.
You can take the last one.
Okay. Fire Emblem 3 has announced the expansion pass. So it's available for pre-purchase on the eShop. It's available now. Includes 4 waves of DLC as they release, including Officers Academy outfits for Byleth on day 1. Now, I haven't seen the stuff that you've seen in terms of what this is, but do they amount to any like prologue or map or story stuff with it, or just outfits so far?
They just showed the outfit off in the screen cap. So they said there will be 4 DLCs coming. If you ask me, it's going to be hot springs scene. It's going to be a summer beach scene. You know, typical anime trope crap.
How much does it cost?
It doesn't. I didn't see that. I think it's well. It says it's available now. I didn't check a price.
Okay.
You can't tell me that it's going to be more than like $19.99.
I don't know. They get real costly with some of their DLC at times.
I'll look it up.
But yeah, we're just a couple weeks away. I know over there on the Nintendo YouTube channel, they're breaking down all of the different factions, and they're doing story elements and character introductions. So they're starting to prime the Fire Emblem engine a little bit. I'm interested to see. Mm-hmm. I'm not only interested in playing the game, obviously, for Fire Emblem love, but I'm interested to see how this game performs. I don't feel the fervor and the fanfare that I did on 3DS. So
you can receive Byleth, the tested professor, for Fire Emblem Heroes mobile game when purchasing 3 houses. It's so cute. It's the little chibi thing. All right, we can continue on with the questions, but I'm going to look up this before the end of the show, just so we know.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a great question that we got in, especially in a slow news week. Kyle the Pug writes in, and he wants to know, what are our top N64 games? I did
top 10. Top 10.
Top 10. And I did write down a list. So I've actually never considered or thought to try and rank my N64 games before, to be honest with you. So in my mind, here's how I went about making my rankings. I started to place favoritism towards the games that I tend to revisit and keep and collect. So the games that I actually have on cartridge, I ranked over probably some far more important, better games in terms of the legacy of the console.
Okay.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to go back and forth? Or you just want me to read my list?
Just read your list.
Okay. Obviously, I'm going to start at the top. Ocarina of Time. It was the first Zelda game that I beat, actually, yep. And probably one of the most influential video games in my little video game upbringing. So I'll start there. I'm going to start with the second one that I don't think probably makes many people's lists. Pokemon Stadium.
Ooh.
Because, as you know, I never had a Game Boy, and I never had a Game Boy Advance, and I never had any of that. I played Pokemon games through the pack thing that went into the bottom of my N64 controller.
Yep.
That's how I played Pokemon games. So when I played Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Red, because I never had Blue, that's how I played them. So I fell in love with those games.
Pretty revolutionary.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was super cool. I was like, and I loved it. And then on top of that, you had this turn-based 3D Pokemon game, where you could level them all up and you could exchange them, and I just loved it. I thought it was perfect. I'm actually quite surprised. I mean, maybe Pokemon Home will kind of duplicate some of that. I'm kind of surprised that we've never really kind of had that where we could play the Pokemon game and then also have this battling thing where everybody was included and level them up and stuff separately. That's kind of neat. That's
$24.99.
How much?
$24.99.
That's not bad. I'll get that. So I mean, I love that about that game, and it's kind of like what the Pokeball did for Pokemon Let's Go, having that outside experience outside the game. That's kind of what Pokemon Stadium did for me, as somebody who was using it primarily to play Pokemon Yellow. So I think my experience is just vastly different, because so many people played that game and they're like, oh, the game is stale because you just beat the trainers and you do the battles and they're boring. They're the same things over and over again. Couldn't be further from the difference for me, because that was my Pokemon Yellow machine.
Okay.
Mario 64, the amount of hours I've spent running around that courtyard, it's in my N64 now. It's just there. I mean, it's just great. You don't need to say anything else about the game. The game is amazing.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 64. Still the best battle mode that Mario Kart has ever had.
Oh, for sure.
Still.
No doubt.
And the times in high school that I had 10 years after that game came out.
We still played it in college. My sister and I played it when I graduated college.
Love Mario Kart. So yeah, Mario Kart. I mean, for the battle mode, but the racing was still great too. Don't get me wrong. I love the races and love the track. So I love that. And keeping along that theme, Diddy Kong Racing. I love Diddy Kong Racing too, for all the same reasons, except the fact that now I could do this little hoverboat, and all the characters had a little more pizzazz, a little more color, and hi, I'm Banjo, and all the funny stuff. And you could go into you go find the elephant, and he'd Alakazam you into a plane. And for I think for the first time in an open area, like a Mario 64 courtyard, I could fly a plane and go up and down. I was like, this is amazing. I loved Diddy Kong Racing. Mario Golf.
Okay.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I played the absolute piss out of Mario Golf. I played the game for every year. I don't think there's a year of my life that has passed where I didn't play Mario Kart 64. I still play Mario Kart 64. To this day, Melissa doesn't really like games. She doesn't really play games with us. Every now and again, we can get her to try something. She'll just dance. She'll do something. She tried Snipper Clips. She will still play Mario Golf 64 with me to this day. And we'll play a whole round, not the whole thing.
My go-to chill music is Mario Golf 64 music.
It's good. Good
Whenever
chill music.
I need to chill.
Mm-hmm. You can make Princess Peach cuss in that game.
Yeah, you can.
Which is a lot of fun. Yeah, if you don't remember that, go back there and do some of that. Yep. Star Wars Rogue Squadron, which I would argue, in all seriousness, might be the best N64 game. That game is incredible. It looks amazing. It plays amazing. It has everything. That game was incredible. The amount of times that I have ran through Rogue Squadron story, I've beaten that game like a dozen times. I've gone through it over and over and over again. I love the game. Game's incredible. GoldenEye 007. For all the first-person shooter stuff, I mean, I think many people started there, and I am one of those people.
Absolutely.
And the paintball mode and lasers mode and golden gun mode and big head mode.
Golden gun mode.
We need more and more and more of that stuff. Pokemon Snap.
Yep.
Pokemon Snap, and then the last one that I have here, it's actually two, but I consider it the same. WCW NWO Revenge and WWF No Mercy. These are basically the same game, similar game, made by the exact same developer, a few years apart. What WCW NWO Revenge did to the NWO World Tour model of wrestling game, when they pizzazzed it up, gave it animations, gave it costumes, gave it entrances, that really took it to another level. And then fast forward, I think 3 years maybe, they were cranking those things out so fast, it may not have been that long. WWF No Mercy took NWO Revenge to a whole new level with storylines and branching characters and branching paths, and you could go heel, you could go babyface in the game, like the storyline, like they would push you in one way and they'd make the game really, really hard, but then you could totally beat it though. You could cheese it and go the other way, and you could go the hard route, had multiple paths. That game was amazing. And sorry, so I mean, like, I just want to say sorry to Smash and Tony Hawk, which I spent countless hours in.
Good one.
Resident Evil 2, Perfect Dark, All-Star Baseball, Blitz, Madden 99.
All-Star Baseball.
And Wave Race, which is a especially close one. I really, really love Wave Race.
I love Wave Race too. Wave Race 64 is amazing, and Blue Storm was such a letdown for me.
I don't think we'll ever get another game like that.
We need a Wave Race. We need another 1080.
But the problem, and we've talked about this before, I actually think I used Wave Race as one of my games that I'd love to bring back. But my issue with Wave Race in today's world, so in my idea, if you were to try to bring Wave Race back today, it needs to be like what Forza is, but in the ocean.
I guess. Because people still play racing games on Mario Kart.
But see, that's the thing. The thing that I loved about Wave Race though wasn't so much the races. I love sitting in these awesome water physics and just driving around and listening to music, you know. Yeah. I did the races, but that wasn't why I was playing the game. I was chilling out. And Forza does that. That's why I play Forza. I don't play Forza for the races. God, those are I just do that because impossible. I have to. Yeah. I'm just I guess I have to do a race now. I do Forza because I want to crash all the signs, break all the things, just drive around, listen to tunes, just hang out. That's what I would love to see Wave Race come back, but I don't think we'll ever see that happen again. I realize how important Smash and Resident Evil 2 are, and Tony Hawk for that matter, but I've never been Smash guy, and even back then I was just it was fun. I definitely had it. I definitely played it for a summer, don't get me wrong, but even kind of like Smash Ultimate, I put it down, and I never really returned to it, so. What about you?
We have a lot of similar ones.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes, we do. Ocarina was my number 1. Super Mario was my number 2. Majora's was number 3.
Yeah, I hate that game.
Okay. I didn't like it as a kid, but it grew on me so much.
I love the art style. Love Skull Kid. Love all of that. All of that is amazing. Hate the game. Hate playing Majora's Mask.
Number 4. You didn't say this, and I'm surprised. Paper Mario.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew it was going to be there.
So good. So good. Still, my opinion, the best Paper Mario game is the original.
So let me ask you a question, because I just want to challenge you a bit. Have you replayed it? Do you actually replay it? Because a lot of these games,
I replay this one
a lot.
I replayed this one probably back in 2015 or 2016.
Oh, wow,
it was
okay.
during the Wii U.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
My sister wanted to play it, and this was back when I was still living in my
Because you know what, you just reminded me of another one. Another one that I actually thought about putting on my list, but I didn't play it as much as these. Yoshi's Story.
We'll see. We'll see. Number 5, Mario Golf.
Yeah.
Number 6, Mario Kart 64, because I like the golf more than I like the karting. We rented that. We own Mario Kart right out the gate. We bought that with the system. But I remember renting Mario Golf to the point that we could have bought it like 3 times.
Mario Golf's good. Man.
So good. Super Smash Bros. Was my number 7. I put Mario Party 1 through 3 at number 8 because they're all kind of just like expansions on the first one. It's just more boards and more mini games.
Mario Party was
really the same thing.
Big. That was a big deal.
I still think that Mario Party on the N64 were the best Mario Parties.
It's a bit tired now because we've had so many mini games, especially with the Wii and all that, but like back then, Mario Party was a big deal. It was huge.
It was legit. The handicaps weren't all there.
The party game, man. That's what you did with friends, like before Rock Band. Like you Mario partied.
Yep. Number 9, Harvest Moon 64. Because, and number 10, I put Yoshi's Story.
Yoshi's Story. I thought about Melissa loves Yoshi's Story. It's one of her favorite games just because it's super cute. Every time I bring that thing up, she starts singing that same thing.
Once I had to say I'm sorry for not including. I did not put GoldenEye. I did not put Diddy Kong Racing. I would have put Banjo on there, but I felt
Banjo.
The best. Sorry, I don't know what this
You know my thoughts of Banjo-Kazooie. I'm telling you. You and Jacob are out there. Like it's okay.
No,
it's not great.
Jacob is on the god tier level, dude. I'm just like,
I don't get it.
I
tried replaying after I met Jacob. I was like, maybe I just have a bad memory. I went and tried to replay it and like rare replay. Played for like an hour. I was like, no, I'm right. Like this is not a great game.
And Mario Tennis. Camelot did amazing things.
It's a good one. Mario Tennis is a good one.
Mario Tennis game.
Mario Tennis is a good one. A lot of Mario.
They brought us Waluigi.
A lot of Mario on your list.
I feel like the N64 was the last time Mario was truly... I take that back. Because I really like Galaxies.
Yeah, as I say. I knew where you were going with that, and I was going to hit you with Wii real quick. Because there was a lot of Mario on Wii. Tony Hawk. Yeah. Tony Hawk is the one that was hard.
All right, see, but Tony Hawk
I played
for the GameCube was my favorite.
Much Tony Hawk.
I did too, but number 3 on the GameCube was my favorite. Can't tell you how many times I rented that one.
Who's your favorite skater?
What do you mean?
Who did you play as?
Oh, I don't remember. Just like, gosh, it's been... When did I start renting that game? Like back in 2000? It's been years. I never owned it.
I gotcha. I played. I was thinking like the sheer amount of hours I played. Tony Hawk was one of those games like Kart. I was always playing. Like it would just, if I was bored and had nothing else to play, couldn't afford to play anything, I played Tony Hawk.
I'm just looking to see, because I kind of made the move from Tony Hawk to SSX, and it was kind of in the same kind of vein and stuff.
Cool borders, man. Stuff was good. I miss those good snowboarding games.
SSX was all like my main SSX days.
You know, a shout out to Ready to Rumble. That's another one that I was thinking about. Like I couldn't put it on my list because it's not better than any of these games, but I played a lot of Ready to Rumble. That boxing game. The game was super fun. I would love another game like that. I would like another game like that. That'd be great.
Do you know that I only have 12 more N64 titles to own before I own all of the ones that I want in my collection?
That's awesome. Got to get on that.
One.
Got to get on that. Got to finish that off.
Somebody want to spot me $215? I can do it.
Get some repros. Get all of them for like $26.
I'm surprised neither of us said Star Fox.
I thought about it. I did.
I did too. That's another one that I feel bad for leaving off.
Star Fox, it's interesting because I love Star Fox 64. It's probably the only Star Fox game that I would say I love, honestly.
I think it's probably the best.
It's the only one that I've played more than once or twice. I've replayed Star Fox 64 like 5 times. You can beat it in like an hour. I meant like on like different things. I mean, I replayed it. I've beaten it 3 or 4 times on 3DS. Like I keep replaying that game, and I don't know, like like I like adventures and stuff like that, but they're never 64.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know, like I just wouldn't drop it down on any of the ones on my list. I wouldn't put it above any of these. Even my Saris, like I like Wave Race more than Star Fox 64. Sue me.
Love me some Wave Race.
I like Wave Race. It's a good game. Okay. Next question. Thanks for the question, Kyle. Next question comes from Grouchy Surge. He wants to know, does Nintendo need to step up their quality control to help fix the port problem for Switch, Saints Row, Bloodstained, etc.? Or does it just need to get with the times and give us a more powerful console? Also, are there that many Switch-only owners buying these up? Or is it just that people are willing to sacrifice for the handheld experience?
Let me just go ahead and say something about quality control, because the quality control has completely fallen by the wayside. If Vroom in the Night Sky and Hello Kitty Racers can get put on a Nintendo Switch, somebody just doesn't care.
Isn't Hello Kitty Racers kind of good? I think people say that it's actually kind of good, right? Is that the SpongeBob one? I know one of those licensed kart racers. People are actually seriously, don't sleep on it. It's not that bad.
I have no idea.
I don't know which one it is because obviously
Hello Kitty Racers is pretty pathetic. I've watched gameplay and there's areas in the courses that you can get stuck in and you just can't finish the race.
It's called strategy.
The fact that there's just not as good quality control. Games that are being put on the Switch right now, all that shovelware, I don't think 10 or 12 years or 10, 15 years ago you would have seen those on a Nintendo console at all. That being said, Switch owners are going to buy them up because, like me, I want to say I would play The Witcher 3 because I don't have any other place to play it. Aside, I could play it on... Okay, that's a lie. Say,
you can play it on PC much better, cheaper. PC. You can play it cheaper in better quality.
For me, it's not a portability thing. For me, it's just... I don't know.
I think that there are a lot of Nintendo fans that want to support Nintendo's consoles and third parties that make games for their consoles.
Yes. Excuse me. Yes to that. But at the same time, you don't see me buying something like Bloodstained because I know it's going to be bad. I think there was a game that I completely passed up because it was so bad on Switch, and I can't remember what it was. But I think I said I was just going to I was going to get it on Steam or something. But yeah, the Bloodstained debacle is just... There's no excuse for that.
So there's probably really a big reason why he's asking this, the fact that all week long I've been going on and on and on about Bloodstained in our Discord.
Yeah, you have.
And I'm definitely the guy for this question. So I just want to answer it directly. Nintendo doesn't quality control third-party games. They're not sitting there playing through games and giving it a quality stamp. Those days are gone. Now they provide a platform, they provide tools, they're self-publishing, especially for these bigger developers, especially for them, right? They'll wait for people like us to say this game's broken and why not before they start to act on that type of stuff. I'm sure they go through some basics. I'm sure they, check the game, that it loads, that it has something going on, but this is not new. There's some really garbage on the Wii U, and Lord of mercy, the Wii. This is not new. This has been going on for a long time. It's just where technology is now, especially in the game space. Then that's the same for it's not a Nintendo thing. It's everybody. I think there's a team of people at PlayStation going. There's 150 games that drop a week on PlayStation 4.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. You can't do it. So in Steam, there's so much stuff out there. You just can't do it. So they wait. They allow the community to kind of self-police that through word of mouth. The issue with Bloodstained and Saints Row and all these things in terms of get with the times and a more... I've always argued I'd love Nintendo to have an as powerful console. This is an interesting point, an interesting topic that I was thinking of holding for Stadia, but it might be better for us because there was an analyst on Twitter, I can't remember now, I think it was David Gibbons, who said that Nintendo is eagerly awaiting for streaming arrival, the arrival of streaming to take hold. And it makes all the sense in the world because their big thing is that they don't chase tech. They don't chase hard power, performance and materials and parts. You'd have to think that Nintendo is sitting here oh my God, please, Bring everybody to our level and let our games compete for us. Because you have to think in a space like that, they feel uber confident.
Sure.
You know, if they can just build a server that we all tap into and stream games, and you can run Doom Eternal in 4K and Mario,
sure,
nobody's going to buy anything else. Like, yeah,
worlds,
that's a very significant feather in their cap. Now, obviously, there'll be PlayStation fans and Xbox fans that want Halo and whatnot, but a large majority of people, if they can get top level performance and Nintendo games, it's a real hard thing to get over.
Yeah.
The issue with the Switch, and particularly like with Bloodstained, is that Bloodstained's like an Unreal Engine game, and this is all word of mouth for me coming from Digital Foundry. I don't know this stuff. But as I understand it with Unreal Engine 4 and the Switch is that it really wasn't developed for it. It hasn't really been catered to the console. And a lot of the things that it uses in terms of like memory bus and memory streaming and things like that, and then like the Switch just doesn't do that well.
Yeah.
So when you downport a game that's built in that engine over, there's a lot of sacrifices that have to be made, and you're seeing it. If you look at comparisons of Bloodstained, it's not just a resolution issue. It's not a 720p issue. There's entire assets, entire effects, entire things missing from the game. You know, I showed a screenshot of where there's supposed to be water and on Xbox,
it's a texture.
She walks around and like splashes happen and water moves and everything, and on Switch, it literally just looks like dirt. It's just the ground.
It's like just a texture, like a frozen water texture. It's pretty bad.
It's purple. It's really bad. And, you know, as I said it, what I said, because Prime talked about it this week too, was it's kind of a shame because you would have to imagine if they had released an HD quality version of Bloodstained on Switch, it would outsell. Here's the interesting thing. It's probably going to outsell it anyway. As we already saw a sample size in the UK, it's outselling PS4 and Xbox combined. People are buying it anyway, and that's also kind of the problem. Or it's not a problem. It's a problem if you want more quality. If you're the type of person who's like, I want good graphics and I want good performance and I want the game to look and operate great, then you can't keep buying the lesser version of everything.
We talked about that too. We talked about that in Discord, where it's just, I feel like you want to strangle people by the neck, because it's something that if they keep doing it, it's not going to get better.
Why would you?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're really a developer, why would you? Why would you spend 2 months of a studio's team to try and make it better if they're going to buy it anyway? Doesn't make any sense. Why? There's no reason. There's no incentive.
Yep.
And if you're asking Grouchy, like, there is definitely a lot of people that are willing to sacrifice for the handheld experience. The question that I'm always posing, the reason I'm always pushing back a bit, is I don't like that that's like the in case of the argument. Well, I just want portability, so now I'm done. Like, that's the argument. Because it's like, at what point does portability not
matter?
Well, at least.
Well, I mean,
at some point, the quality has to be so bad that even portability can't save it. You know, like, at what point do you get critical?
Well, how many people would prefer, like, we could get into a whole podcast about this, about why, like, everybody plays games on their phones now.
Sure.
And it's just the fact that the phone's there all the time.
Convenient.
You can go to the bathroom. You can be in jury duty, and you can just be playing. You can be playing it anytime, anywhere.
Least common denominator. You already have it.
And this is the next best thing.
Sure.
So those games that you're not getting on your phone that are available here, people are going to get them there.
And
even
I think
if you're paying $10 more.
And that's a big part of that's another, as I said on the Discord, a big issue that I'm having isn't the fact that the games are lesser, it's that you're paying the same price. You know, like, so Bloodstained in regards, so I'm going to keep using this to make my point. Bloodstained is not as good as it is on PlayStation and Xbox. It's not. And I get that it has portability, but like, it's just a chopped down, it's a lesser version of the game. I think it should cost less. Because what it really reminds me of is when 3DS, because Wii U was tanking, when third parties started porting some things to 3DS, right, just to get some stuff over there, and they would be $19.99, $20.99, and they didn't look, you know, like, I'm thinking like Madden for 3DS. I'm thinking of Arkham Blackgate, which came to Wii U and eventually came to 3DS, right? Things like that. There were some third-party things like that eventually made its way to 3DS in a downgraded version, but it was priced accordingly. We're not getting that on Switch. We're getting Bloodstained for $40, and it's like half the game.
Everything is $10 or more. It's
unbelievable. Bloodstained's the exact same price, and I'm just like, why don't you just acknowledge it for what it is?
Oh,
this is a stripped down version of the game.
Of everything I buy is physical, and I'm paying $10 more. Part of that is a cartridge, right? Cartridges are not as expensive or more expensive to make than a little disc, but
it's just and it is a shame because I also think that there's a part of this, and it's unfair because I understand that not every game is the same, especially when you talk about those engines and everything. But I think Kevin actually had a really good point that I wish he would have went a little further. So if I can embellish a little bit. There's no evidence to suggest that Nintendo Switch cannot run a 2D side-scrolling action game with, basic 3D art in HD at 60 frames a second. You can do it. Shantae runs, like SteamWorld Dig runs. Like there are versions, like when you look at what it is supposed to be, there's no reason to understand that it can't be as good. It's not a hardware issue. It is an engine issue, and it could totally be fixed. This is the issue with Grouchy talking about, does Nintendo need to get with the times? This is the byproduct of going so far out on your own, because they could totally get Bloodstained running in HD at 30 frames locked better if they built it off of an engine that was made for Switch. But to do that requires basically developing another version of the game, and that costs more money. And that's why they don't do it. And that's why EA doesn't put Madden on Switch, because they don't want to get away from Frostbite. That's the issue when you zag. When everybody else zigs and you go off on your own and you do your own thing, your own architecture, and you're not x86 and you're not Jaguar and you're not doing everything that everybody else is doing, this is a byproduct of that, because you are telling studios, well, we want you to put your game on Switch, but they're like, we can't unless we spend a lot of money to make it, that's the thing. So they're walking a fine line. I don't necessarily blame them. I think if I were in their shoes and I was making a game, I think I would probably make the same decision, because at some point you can't. You can't invest twice the resources.
They're worried about investment.
Yeah, you can't do that.
It's too much. Yeah.
It's not economical. It doesn't make, financial sense.
It's a risk.
So the only other option is to farm it out, and that's where we see the ports where that Switch owners like, when you go and you farm it out like Doom, and you give it to somebody and you go, we need you to take this code and make it Switch. Like go do it and do the hard work and go put in the effort.
That's what WayFor did with Xseed with Shantae.
There you go. Yep. And not everybody's going to do that. Not everybody can afford it. This is a Kickstarter game. And I don't know about all this, but it's like they're probably losing money on this.
Right. Even just the fact that it's selling double than what the other ones are or more than what the other two are combined, that's good for them.
Yeah.
But we still don't know
think of this, but this game has been in development for 5 years now?
Oh, forever. I remember when it went up.
Even with the sales that it has, and the amount of money it raised, it didn't raise like $100 million. It raised, like two or something.
Several thousand. I thought it was just several thousand.
It was a lot.
$1 million?
I thought it did. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I thought it did.
I don't know.
It maybe not $1 million. $1 million seems high, but I know it got significant amount of money.
Sure.
And I'm definitely sure that somebody gave them some capital stuff, but you could see the point I'm trying to say. When you start paying a studio,
about 5.5 mil. You're right.
So when you start paying a studio to make something for 5 years, even a small studio, 20 people, salary and benefits, for 5 years, that money goes away quick.
Here's the thing, though. Golly. This thing was slated to come out in March of 2017. Mm-hmm. They had a $500,000 goal. They made 10 times that amount.
Didn't they hire the Shantae folks to help them finish, too? They contracted other folks.
Right.
See, so it's like that money goes away fast. So you think about they raised 5, and let's say some capitalists saw that and they gave them 10. I could totally see them having a hard problem breaking even, if not making a significant profit. It'd be hard to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a tough situation to be in. Again, I keep reminding myself that the Switch is a 3DS replacement. It's not a console.
It is.
It's not a console. Can't keep always expecting it to be console. And I gotta say, once they get it patched up and fixed, I kind of think that the Switch version of this game will be okay. I've seen it. It's not awful. It's not unplayable, I guess.
Apparently, it's a great game.
Yeah, it is a great game. Yeah, and I was really excited for it. I love Symphony of the Night. I love Castlevania games. So
yeah.
I will probably even get it on Switch. I just won't pay $40 for it. I'll get it when it's like $13.99, because that's what it should be, based on the quality that it's delivered and the type of game it is.
Yep.
So, anyway.
We digress.
Yeah, quite a bit, always. That's what we do here.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see what Wolfenstein does on Switch.
Hold on a minute. Why was tonight supposed to be funny?
Oh, because I'm here. That's it.
That's not funny.
I mean, I think it's kind of funny. I'm here at work. I've got all these screens behind me. I'm sitting in front of this EOC full of computers and stuff.
That's not funny.
Okay, well, that was it. No big surprise. I'll be sleeping in my office tonight, so I brought all my stuff with me. So I'm sitting in here. I imagine if the janitors or somebody came in here and I'm sitting back over the computer and a webcam and a microphone and everything.
Get some DoorDash?
I actually brought a DiGiorno pizza with me and cooked it in the oven.
Donnie, no. You gotta do DoorDash or something. Atlanta's got
Not down here. No, I don't want to walk outside. I'm not going out there.
They'll come to your front door.
I'm in a government building. There's no front door to come to. It's closed. It's locked. There's nobody here.
Tell them to do a Walter White and throw it on the roof.
Yeah, I'd have to run out to the street. Like, no, I'm good. I'm not risking my life. Not for that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to say anything else about it because I know.
I know you know. How's that cul-de-sac look? You've got gates.
No, dude, don't even put that on me. Your situation is like 10 million times worse.
I couldn't be more safe. There's an army full of people here with guns. So. And I'm the only person that's
you said you're by yourself.
I am, but like the building. Think about it. I'm in the space in the giant building. So we've got security. They're here all night long and all that. Plus, I'm the only person with the keycard access to this floor. So I could hide real fast.
Okay.
Super fast.
Can't hide from a bomb, but...
Oh, well, that's true. The building could take it.
We're getting dark here. We're getting real dark.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's wrap it up. As we'll say, follow us on Twitter at ShackLife. All the fun stuff. Come join us on Discord, psvg.blog/Discord, where we hang out all day, every day. It's been a little quiet this week.
Too quiet.
I haven't been there because I've been busy.
I think it's vacation week.
It is vacation week. And that's the other thing I want to say is I'm going on vacation. Not next week. I'll be here for next week, but the following week and the week after. Caroline has the shack all to herself. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if we're going to have live shows or recorded shows or they come out later. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing.
I'll try.
I'm telling you, I would suggest that you go on YouTube and go use the Google Hangouts before they go away.
I don't even know how that works.
Get with Kevin.
I do know how Twitch works. So.
Well, that's true. You do not do that, but then you have to pull in everybody else's audio and all that. You've never done that?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But I am looking forward to going on holiday. I need it. And I'm going away. I cannot wait. I told my boss today I'm going away. Do not call me anymore. So this is the last hurrah, the final stand. I got to get through tomorrow. Wish me luck. And I'm ready to go home. And if all goes well, I'm going to try to treat myself to a double movie tomorrow. I'm going to go see Annabelle and Midsommar back to back.
I heard Midsommar is pretty good, but Annabelle, no way. No way.
I love Annabelle. It's great. That'd be the next doll I'd want.
Why is Chucky and Annabelle coming out within the same month? What year do we live in?
Yeah, the horror's good time for horror movies to come out summertime.
No. I'm going to be watching Stranger Things all day tomorrow.
That's true. That's another thing comes out. So I'll be doing that this weekend. I'll probably just lay on the couch all day Saturday and watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Yeah. See, these are the types of conversations you're missing if you're not in the Discord. You got to come join the Discord. So make sure you do that. That does it for tonight's show. We will see you next week, Kooplings.